You're watching Taste of Victory.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Taste of Victory. Today we are joined by Haze, who got 7th place at the Philadelphia 2 Minigames in-person Digimon TCG Regional. He went 14-0 on the first day because this was split into 2 days. One for Swiss, one for top 16, and he did not drop a single game in like 8 or 7 rounds on day 1. It's incredible. And that was with Mastemon. So Haze, do you want to go ahead and introduce us to this incredible new Mastemon list digital hazard set?
Alright, sure. So first, it's starting with the eggs. It's just 4 Demi, 1 Nero. So this is the ratio because most of my rookies are purple and not instead of yellow. But I choose to run 5 eggs because a lot of matchups get really grindy. So the next, the rookies, I'm running 3 Gazi and then 4 Psych and then 1 Candle. So reasoning for this rookie count is Gazi's was really good. And so being able to floodgate your opponents is really good. Psychemon at 4 because I was worried about D-Reaper coming in, and Psychemon helps you secure that matchup. And then just a 1 Candlemon because I wanted to get 8 rookies. 8 rookies felt consistent, and having a yellow rookie meant that I could grab it off TK. I didn't think that I needed the 4th Gazi, and then the memory from Candle comes up occasionally. So for the level 4s, it's just the 4 Gatomon. I know a lot of people run Black Gatomon, it's like a 1 or 2 of, or maybe even Wizardmon, but for my playstyle, just the 4 works best for me. I'd rather spend my time digging for this card than evolving something that's like worse. And the rush from the Black Auto does come up. I will say it does come up, but for me, typically, I don't find myself in situations where I have to close the game within that 1 turn, and like not being able to lethal that exact turn is usually okay, since you can heal out a lethal or whatever else you might need to do. And then for the level 5s, 3 LadyDevi, so this is the BT3 one. This, and then 1 starter deck LadyDevi. So you play this so that you can Hellscythe it back. Also, it helps you not deck out and grind your matchups. 4 seems like a really good ratio, I think. And then 2 Lucemon. You can run 3. I only run 2, but 3 is viable. I wouldn't run any less than 2. This is just really important. It's part of your main combo to pop Tamers and high-level Digimon. And then also 3 Magna. 3 Magna because I know some people run 4, but I run other cards that are able to search the Magna, so I run 3, which frees up space a bit. And you can't really play Mastemon without MagnaAngemon. Well, you can, but it's just like significantly worse. And then to round off the level 5s is just 2 Angemon. The on-play is not quite as good as MagnaAngemon, but security attack +1 comes up a lot, and also the -2s security attack does come up for when your opponent can make multiple checks. That so then the 2 is worth more than the 1. And for level 6s, so the 4 Mastemon, it is a Mastemon deck, so it's pretty self-explanatory there. Can't really run any less, because then if you don't see it when you need it, it's pretty tough. Ophanimon Falldown mode. This card comes up a lot, I think, but so it's mostly good early game and as a follow-up to Mastemon after you do your Jogress. But I actually might bump this to 2 for the future because of the matchups that we'll talk about later. And then 1 Creepy. This is a must play. You just can't get away with not playing Creepy right now. I milled people for game so many times during that event. You need it for grind. It'll come up in other situations too, where your opponent goes wide and you can punish them for cheap with the Creepy. And then the last level 6, that's not really a level 6, but it is AvengeKid. This helps you not deck out, recycle your options. So Avenge and Creepy kind of form a package where you're able to mill with Creepy and then Avenge to fill back up, and then keep that cycle going where you can Creepy them again. Level 7, just a 2 Zwart defeat. You need to kill Tamers, so killing Tamers is really good because there's a lot of hybrid decks in the format. Also, the security option activating when there's a being able to pop a level 7 when there's a Mastemon on board, and this pops out a security is really good, because you can always look at your security when you can look at your security pretty often in this deck, so you'll know whether or not there's a Zwart defeat in there, and then you can play around that. For Tamers, so the memory Tamers, I play 2 Kari and 2 TK, 1 TK. So this is like the standard tamer, and then TK, I run TK because you need to search Gato, and then the TK helps you find that. The other thing is that a lot of the times in grindy matchups, if your opponent is good, they're not going to swing at you, and so your pieces are going to be stuck in security. So for example, your Creepymon or your AvengeKid stuck in security and you need to pull it out. That's what TK is for. And then a TK Kari. This card single-handedly wins matchups sometimes. If they swing at you and they check this, you probably win. Assuming you're lower security. And also dropping this after your opponent recovers one above you is also really good. But basically stacking. Being at 5 every turn is really good. And then this is for my own personal tamer pick. Not a lot of people are running this. I run 2 analogs. I run analog because it searches every color, so you're able to get your yellow level 5s. You're able to get your defeat, and also it's a really strong turn 1 play because since you trash the remaining cards, it sets up your trash for Hellscythe immediately. So because a lot of times Hellscythe, your opponent will check Hellscythe and there's nothing in your trash because it's so early in the game, and this really helps with that. And also the memory comes up actually quite a bit. There's a lot of back and forth in this meta, so you'll be clearing your opponent's board, your opponent will be clearing your board, so then this gets a lot of value in that. And then mem boosts. Moving up to the options, mem boosts, 3 purple mem boost and 1 reinforce. Mastemon needs to run a lot of mem boosts. You need to find your pieces, and the memory is really good for not passing over a ton, and also to just enable more plays. I know a lot of people don't like reinforce because you can't always use it, and I get that. Sometimes it can be a little dead, but the +3 is just so impactful because in Mastemon, if you're given a 6 memory, if you have 6 memory to work with, you're able to 100% of the time. Well, if you have the cards, DNA Digivolve without and on the same turn without anything else on your board. So you can slam the Gazimon for 5 and then Digivolve on top for 1 and then pass over your 6. And so that 6 memory lets you respond to pretty much any threat immediately. And also play a calling from the darkness. Gets back your pieces. It's kind of a search because if your opponent hits the cards from your security that you need them back, you just grab them back. But you mostly use this is mostly used in combo with Creepymon. So when you swing Creepymon, and then delete it with the calling, and then Digivolve Creepymon again, swing again. And so you're able to mill up to 18 cards in a turn, and so that's a win condition against Yellow Hybrid and Mastemon Mirror. So for the other options, for Flame Hellscythe and 3 Chaos Degradation, Flame Hellscythe is a super busted option, and I can't see myself running any less than 4. It's a key part of your combo piece, and it's super devastating when they check it. Chaos Degrade, I chose to run 3. I was running 2 before the event, but since it's EX2, you need your outs to Gatekeeper and D-Reaper. So I chose to run 3 so you can see it when the gatekeeper pops up. Also, this card was in my security so often and saved me so many times. So this seems like a really strong a number for seeing just checks in your security. And yeah, that's the list.
Could you walk us through your matchups, what you faced at the Philadelphia Regional, and how did those feel?
Sure. So, there were 7 rounds on day 1. Round 1, and I won all those matches 2-0. I won. Round 1 was versus Black or Gray. That it's a pretty good matchup, unless they like super high roll you with the OTK line. So, it's a good matchup. So I took that. Round 2 was the mirror match. A Mastemon. I think they were running a more yellow base with like candles and more salas. But I ended up just milling them for game, and then game 2, same thing. Just milled them for game twice. Round 3, I played into Creepy Loop. So I actually initially thought I was playing into Beelstar because he digivolved Gabumon and then Scatter Mode, and so Beelstar is a bit more popular of a deck, so I expected Beelstar. But it was Creepy Loop. That matchup was a little weird, but I managed to get it because I think game 1 I was able to run them down with the Sec +1 Ange underneath Ophani, so I just swung 2 checks, and then won that way. And then the second game, I just put down floodgates at the right time, and then that basically stopped them from being able to get their combo going. Round 4, I played another mirror, similarly to this time. Round 4 is the 3rd place overall Mastemon player. He went a little further than I did in Top Cut, but I did manage to get that 2-0 as well. So that matchup, so for game 1, I milled him for game using Creepy and AvengeKid, and then game 2, I just built a really big board and then swung for game that way. Round 5, I played against Beelzemon. Game 1, he kind of bricked, but I also bricked, so we actually spent those 2 games both bricking. He dropped the Soulmon, but because you're Mastemon, when you unbrick way harder. So when you see your piece, you're able to instantly pop off, whereas the other decks, they can't really do the same. And then game 2, we're both kind of has slow starts, but he checked the defeat. And defeat pretty much just seals the game against Beelzemon. From security, defeat is super devastating for them because they can't make their blast mode plays. But all their plays just become super awkward with defeat on the board. Round 6, I played against Imperial. That was also and then both games I managed to mill with Creepy for game, and that went pretty well. Round 7, I played against Blue Hybrid, so that was the final match of the day. It was streamed, and I was able to just clear Tamers and clear more Tamers than he could set up, so that I was presenting a more threatening board while he was losing his advantage. And TK Kari came up a lot in that matchup. Because I had the TK Kari on the board, I was getting 5 every turn, and I was just getting more done per turn. And then game 2, I think game 2 I actually just was able to get a super big board, and then put double Gazi down at the end, and then seal the game off with the double Gazi. And then in top 16, day 2, I played into the same Beelzemon I played in round 5. So this was fresh off the deck check, and my hands in all three games in top 16 was atrocious. So game one, my hand was super heavy. It was all level 6s and the Angemon, and I managed to get it by slamming the Angemon turn 1 and then digivolving into Ophanimon turn 2, and then getting those checks for the win. Game 2, my hand was pretty much unplayable since I opened all of my options and then no yellow source to play the options with. So I lost game 2, so that was the first game I lost in the tournament. And then game 3, he checked the defeat again, and then that kind of just ended it. In top 8, I played into Mastemon's worst matchup, which is Ancient Greymon OTK. Shoutouts to Huang and Chungman for creating that monstrosity. But basically, they just build up in raising area and then check you for like 7 to 8 without checking any options. So there's not too much you can do into that matchup other than getting a Mastemon on board and checking a Zwart defeat to pop their Ancient Grey, and also just recovering a lot. And the unfortunate part is so game 1 I was actually at 9 security when I died. So yeah, but overall really good run. I will say that I know I didn't play against Rapid, but I was actually pretty prepared into that matchup. There just wasn't enough Rapid at the top tables on that specific day. And then also D-Reaper. I was very worried about D-Reaper. It's not because, well, not worried, not really. It's more like I was prepping for D-Reaper. I think if you're playing the 4 Psychemon and know how to play the matchup, it's not a very bad matchup, but you have to be teched for it and you have to know how to play against it. But I ended up not playing in any. There was only one D-Reaper in top 16. So, yep, there's my matchups.
Is there any closing thoughts on this deck that you want to give?
Yeah, so with Ultimate Cups coming up and Mulligan being put in, I think one of the rookie slots I will be freeing up. So I will be taking out the Candlemon and then trying a couple of different choices right now. So the matchup I'm the most worried about is the Ancient Grey matchup. Every other matchup, I think Mastemon can win. But I'm going to be trying instead of the Candlemon and going down to 7 rookies, playing another Zwart defeat. Gonna be trying that, and then also trying the BT5 Psychemon, because you're able to minus security from the raising area. And I think -3 combined with all your recovery should be able to stop them from doing getting as much done and possibly OTKing you. So and also the minus security does apply to their Omni, so it makes it so that their Omni can't finish the game, which is pretty cool.
That's very useful info. Thank you so much for sharing this deck with us, Haze. This is an amazing profile. You had a fantastic run. I hope to see you on the channel again with another quick top. That was awesome. Is there any shoutouts you want to give before we close the video?
Shoutouts to everybody who was there supporting me during the event. So shoutouts to Huang, shoutouts to Joey, shoutouts to you, Tasty. Shoutouts to everybody who was there hyping me up. Shoutouts to Donkey.
Yes, everybody was so hyped to see you doing well. That was the Philly boys. That was awesome. Yep, shout out to them. All right, well, thank you so much again, Haze. Congrats again, and I'll see everyone in the next video. Remember to stay hungry until you get a taste of victory.